Hi everybody, I'm Kiley Dalchow. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do something different and I'm gonna look at old runs that I haven't watched in a long time because I kind of needed a pick-me-up and watch good runs, and I'm only showing good runs because I don't need to watch any more bad runs for a while. So that's what I'm gonna do, and they're mostly Shorty because I've had her the longest and I love her the most, and I have not been running her, so I thought I would go through her runs. So please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this first run was not the first time I ran her. I think it was the third time I ever ran her, but I did not even own her at this point. I took her to Northside and I wasn't even trying her, but I ran her because I was staying down with friends who had her in on trade and were trying to sell her, and I rode her, I think in like first couple weeks of January. I was there and I just rode her and I loved her, but I was not in the market for a horse. And so I ended up coming back down at the end of the month and I'm like, hey, can I just take her and run her at Northside? And I did, and I ended up winning it that night. And like I said, I was not horse shopping. I was completely content with the horse I had. And after I won it, we're like, maybe we should buy her. And so we thought about it for a while, and I got my other horse sold, and at the time I was sad to sell that horse, but it was probably the best thing I could have done because I was not a nice horse. And got Shorty, and I am very happy with that decision because I like upgraded by 3 with getting Shorty. But when I tried her and ran her then, I was not even in the market. I did not want to buy a horse. I just wanted to go run her that night. And then we just, ever since the first time I ran her, that was the third run, but like we just have always just clicked, and like it's just easy to ride her and we get along very well. This next run, okay, so this is at the BBR finals in Oklahoma City. This is the gold card race, and I went down to Oklahoma City. I rode down with a friend, and then I stayed with another friend, and then like they left and I stayed with a different friend that I had only met like the day before. And so like I stayed with a couple different friends that week, and like the one friend I stayed with, like it was 3 of us sleeping in a bed, and I was down there by myself pretty much. I just got ride down, and then I just kind of like literally I was down there by myself, and I just like literally hung out with my horse the whole time. I just gave her baths. Like, you gotta keep them in stalls, so I walked her a bunch. Like, I was kind of on my own. I think I was 15, so I couldn't drive. I mean, I did have lots of friends down there and they all took care of me, but I went down there, and so I ran her and I won that gold card race. And I remember running, and there's probably 50 or so more girls to go, and I just very anxiously watched. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I was so relieved and so excited when I won it. That was huge. That was really exciting. Okay, this next run is in Superior, Wisconsin at an amateur rodeo. And this was still the first year I had her, because I got her in like January, end of January, February something. This was probably the fall, August. And I won this rodeo by 0.4 of a second. It was very exciting. That was fun. She She's a good rodeo horse. That was fun to win it by 4/10. That was huge. Okay, Big Daddy. This was at a futurity, and I won the futurity on him. It's a 2-go average. So I won the average, won the futurity. I trained him myself. He was 5 when he won the futurity. And I love that horse. I don't have him anymore. I sold him a couple years ago. But when I went to Woodward and stayed with my friends, they were the ones I sold him to. And I still love that horse so much. But he went to a good home. So this next run, so this is at the IFYR. And that's like the International IF Finals Youth Rodeo, and that's in Shawnee, Oklahoma. It's pretty much like high school nationals that you can just enter, and I ran him in the polls. I put him on the polls. At this time when I was running him at the IFYR, he'd only been on the polls for like 3 months. Like, he was the easiest horse to train, and I don't know if I'll ever get a horse will ever be that easy to train. And he was so broke. He, as a 4-year-old, he had been hauled to the pro rodeos as a heel horse. So he was already pretty much seasoned, even though he didn't know the barrels or pulls when I got him. But he had been to rodeos, and he was super duper broke. And so I ran him in polls that go. The first go, I ran a 20.8, I think. And I ran down there and I hit the first pole. And I'm like, you dummy. And so the second run and the second go, because when you enter, you have 2 runs. I was like, well, I got nothing to lose. So I ran him, and I ran a 19.9, and I won the second round, and that was the first 19 of the week. I think there's only 2 19 times ran that week, and I was the first one, and that was huge because I had ran poles for years. Like, I won the Low Britches World in poles when I was 7, and I never ran a 19 until then when I was 16, I think. And it was exciting that I trained him myself. So I spent a week down in Shawnee, Oklahoma at the IFYR. Then I went to Gillette, Wyoming for the high school finals, and I was there for a week. And then I spent some days in South Dakota. And then I went to Canada, and I ran at the pro rodeos in Canada. I was up there for 2 weeks. I think I went to 5 rodeos. And I was 16 then, and the pro rodeos up there, you don't have to be 18, you can be whatever, there's no age requirement. So I went up there, and this run, I didn't win any money. A couple of them were muddy, and it just didn't work out. I mean, so this run though, I left the rodeo winning a check. I was winning money, and then, and that was slack. And so quite a few girls had ran, and I was really excited because I was winning money, and it was like, finally, and then I ended up getting bumped out. Oh, that's the other thing about Canada. So this run was like in an arena, which they all are, yes. But this one was in just a plain arena, and the ground is actually good. So Canada has chuck wagon races. And so the arenas are like the arenas in Northwest where there's a racetrack around them, and then there's the arena connected to the racetrack. But in Canada with the chuck wagon races, the ground gets super duper hard, and that's how those chuck wagon people like it. And that's huge up there, I found out. And so the ground in Canada, a lot of rodeos, if they are on a racetrack, like, for example, Calgary is not always the best. Their ground is hard, and it's not a good situation. So I kind of was like, I was planning on going back up there this year before all their rodeos got canceled. But their ground is not a great situation at a lot of them. So that arena that I just showed was just an arena not on track, so the ground was good, but the ones on the track are not always great. This last run is back at the I4R. This is the next year. I was 17. That was a fun year. I had sold Big Daddy that spring, so I didn't have him for poles, but I ran Shorty, and so after this run, I left the perf. I don't know, I think I was winning it by like 2/10, but I didn't end up winning the round. I did win, I don't know, I want to check there. That's the other thing about the I4R. They pay. High school nationals does not. But that was a fun year because I ended up 3rd in the average, so 3rd overall, and I was pretty proud of that accomplishment. That's my Shorty worked good, and I like the I4R, and so that was the last year I went, when I was 17. So I went my sophomore year when I was 16, my junior year when I was 17, because I didn't high school rodeo that year. So I went there, and then I didn't go to high school nationals because I didn't high school rodeo. And then when I was 18, which was last year, I went to it fell over like kind of the 4th of July, so I went to all the pro rodeos instead. But if I were to do it over again, I think I'd still go to the pro rodeos. That was what I wanted to do for years, so I'm not gonna say I regret not going to the I4R. It's fine. But it was really fun to watch those runs, because if you watch my last video, you can see I have not had a great last couple of weeks, and so it was kind of good to see all my good runs, even though they were all on Shorty, and I'm not running Shorty right now because she is fat and happy in the pasture, but I know that is a good reminder that I can do it on a different horse. So I hope you enjoyed those runs too, because I've been doing YouTube for like a year and a half. I want to say a year in March, I think. So not a year and a half, but so I had never shown any of those videos because all those were before I started YouTube. So it was a good little blast from the past, and now you know a little bit more about me. So please subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about me, or not, because that's kind of weird. But thank you for watching this video. Please like it, and have a good day. God bless.